I'm going to talk about a couple theories I have about the universe, planets, the solar system, the creation. I've been kind of kicking these things around since about 21 years old. I'm not 21 anymore, but I'm not that old either, like 30. So, anyways, the way it goes is basically you have this mega cluster of planets and solar systems and galaxies out there that are floating around. I guess the theory is basically that let me get closer here. My theory, okay, my theory is that planets are kind of like electrons. Suns are kind of like proton neutrons bound together. And there's two kind of stages or parts to this theory. First part is that there was these mega planets throughout the universe or throughout the galaxy, and there was no solar systems. The planets were self-sufficient. They did not need a sun. They may or may not have. My theory is that they did have life, but I believe that they basically were self-sustaining with some sort of core. Reason why I believe that is, I think if you look at the big picture of the universe and planets and all that stuff, I think that you'll see some striking similarities between the electrons, neutrons, and protons and solar systems. And I think if you scope out a little bit farther, I think you'll see a little bit more of the galaxies, even galaxies colliding, galaxies that all the planets kind of circle around the center of the galaxy. I mean, all the solar systems circle around the planet, around the center of the galaxy. And those galaxies probably circle around something else. I mean, there's a pattern there. So that's one of the things that I think. I think that our solar system, I think that we came from the sun. The origin is the sun. I think that the sun was the center of the planet. We are a fragment of that planet. It exploded. All the other planets in our solar system are part of this one original planet. And basically, I also believe that things don't fly through space and just kind of collect and turn into a planet. I mean, there was a projectile. There was an explosion. The planet, I believe, was about where the sun is now, and I believe that that planet exploded, and I believe that you have Mars, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter. All of those are part of this original planet. We're all from the same basic mold. And I believe that our planet probably had some life on it, on our piece of the original planet. And that's what kind of let us come back, so to speak, and have life. And we just happen to be the planet that was in that good Goldilocks zone away from the sun. So that's part of the theory. Now, the other part of that theory is that there was a planet somewhere out there in some solar system, most likely maybe hundreds or millions of light years away, that had a very advanced civilization. If you look at the number of planets, let's say, for example, in our galaxy, let's say that there's an estimated 300 million Earth-like planets. I can quote that from Star Trek. I believe it was Bones that said that. Yeah, probably Bones. I'm sure Spock knew it, but he didn't say anything. But with 300 million Earth-like planets, I believe that there was probably one of those Earth-like planets with life on it I mean, there's probably dozens of them with life, maybe thousands, maybe even millions. But what I think is basically that one of them was kind of screwing around. We split the atom, we had a nuclear explosion, and we weren't sure exactly what was going to happen. We weren't sure that we weren't going to destroy the world or worse, and we did it anyways. We're like, hey, let's split an atom. Well, I think that these guys actually went and split something smaller than the atom, and caused a very, very huge chain reaction. And I think that that chain reaction is what destroyed our planet, where the sun is, our mega planet. And I believe that it destroyed all of the other mega planets, because I believe that the actual what a proton, neutron, and electron is now, I think used to be something different before this. I think that that cataclysmic event changed everything, the fabric of space, how gravity works, down to the very atom. But it does make sense, because if you have a civilization that continues on for millions of years experimenting around, okay, Beaker's going to come up with some sort of potion that does something sooner or later. And I think that with given the example of several different planets with nuclear technology, maybe even in conglomeration, I think that one of these planets is going to be able to find a bomb that has a nuclear well, I guess you could say it's nuclear reaction, atomic reaction, or subatomic reaction, that would cause a huge chain reaction and explode all the other planets, just like all the planets are other atoms being split as a chain reaction. So I think that that's basically my theory about the creation of the modern universe. Now, where did those original planets come from? I couldn't tell you. Maybe they were just an experiment that got wrong. I don't know. Maybe it was a different universe back then. Maybe that was just a test run, and we are what we are today. And this is where it's supposed to be. I also, I look at it from a biblical perspective as well. In the Bible, when Satan was cast down, he took half the stars with him. We could look at that in several different respects, but or a quarter of all the stars, something like that. Did he mean like planets around solar systems? Did he mean like stars, as in this star is mine and the planets revolving around it and the creatures that live on the planets around it? Because that's an interesting thing. Now, that's a totally different thing that I could sit here and talk about for God knows how long. But today I'm just going to stop there. That's my theory. I think that a slightly more advanced civilization was able to create a bomb, a weapon of sorts. Maybe it wasn't meant to be a weapon, but it caused a chain reaction, destroyed all the megaplanets. Megaplanets that were once self-sustaining planets with cores. So basically, is the universe expanding? Yeah, parts of it are. I look at the sun. I see an explosion with planets. I see a center, which is the sun. I see fragments of an explosion, which is Earth, and all of our planets in our solar system. I also see, on a grand scale, due to the fact that it was a chain reaction, I see that the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, looks like a big old explosion to me. Well, anyways, that's my theory.